What's up, y'all? I hope y'all having a great day. I know y'all haven't seen me in a while, but I most definitely had to pop out and talk about this up and coming election. And I want to start by saying this, right? For those of the people that I know personally that are voting for Kamala Harris or Donald Trump, and even if I don't know you personally, right? I'll say this. Listen, it's all good. I don't care. I'm not gonna say I don't care who you vote for because I'm making this video, but I'm gonna say this. Every adult has a right to choose who they vote for, and I'm not gonna take it personal. Everybody has their own beliefs. Um, everybody has a right to make their own decision, right? But I am making this video to give out a warning because from what it looks like, Kamala Harris has the upper hand in this election, right? Um, there were women that donated millions, black women that donated millions of dollars to her. Um, there was also some black men as well that donated thousands of dollars to her. Then you have white women donating money to her as well to our campaign. And I want to say this, right? And before y'all say anything, I am not an advocate of Trump. I am not voting for Trump because that's the first thing somebody says as soon as I criticize Kamala Harris. But we just have to be real here. And I just gotta say this. Like, I know y'all not falling for the okie doke again. I know y'all not falling for the okie doke again. Listen, they repeat this every 4 years. They do the same thing, the same tactics, especially the last two elections, the 2016 and the 2020 election. I thought we was evolving from this, right? I thought we done already seen all the tricks and we was evolving from this. And I say the 2016 and the 2020 election because Donald Trump was the Republican nominee for both of those presidential elections, right? And he won the 2016 presidential election. And if you go back in time and think about it, they did the exact same thing that they're doing now, but I feel like now it's on steroids because now we have a so-called colored woman that's the Democratic nominee for president. She's black when it's convenient, when it's time for her to get elected. But the other 3 years she's Indian Asian. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But yeah, we done had a repeat of this over and over again. And listen, during the time of the 2016 presidential election, it was Donald Trump versus Hillary Clinton, right? Even back then, I said neither one of them is offering anything for the black community. Neither one of them is talking about anything that, you know, I feel will help this country. So I'm just not going to participate at all. That's exactly what I did. And you have to remember, you had to be 18 to vote. So I was 20 at this time. So this was actually during my first presidential election. I could actually vote. But I said, nah, I'm holding out. I'm not participating. And I have voted. I vote locally, right? You should most definitely vote locally because um those are people that's directly in your community, right? You know who's in your community is going to do right, and even if you don't necessarily know, um, you can still have that option to elect people who you think is gonna be the best choice, right? Because you know them on a more personal level, right? It affects you more directly. So local elections and voting in local elections, I most definitely think that is important, right? But with these presidential elections, right? Black people has been we have been voting for over 50 years doing the same thing. Voting Democrat just because hey, we supposed to vote Democrat. And I'm not saying vote Republican. I'm not saying that at all. I'm only talking about the Democratic Party, and I'm targeting the Democratic Party is because those are the people who campaign for our votes. They spend millions on campaigning for our votes. Just so we can vote for them. And it's just a black vote. I don't see them do this with any other group. So I just want to put that out there. I want to lay a few things down because I know how people get. They think just because you're not for one side that you're for the other side. And when actuality, I look at it like this. If we're not getting anything for our vote, there's no reason to vote or participate in the election. And then on top of that, both of these sides, um, they're both they both participate in evil, right? They sending millions and billions to other countries to commit genocide and stuff like that. So I'm not in agreement with it. So I'm gonna hold out, right? They're not offering black people anything. And I know people have their different reasons for voting. They have different goals, and I respect it. That's why I said, hey, if you vote this way or you vote that way, that is your decision. But I do want to send the warning out, right? Now, these 4 years, I'm going to be honest. Under the Biden administration, has been a terrible 4 years. The country has went downhill. And what I can say is I thought it was gonna be the same under Trump, but I'm not gonna lie, I don't really have that many complaints under a Trump presidency. Now that doesn't mean I'm advocating for him. That doesn't mean I'm gonna vote for him. He said a lot of questionable things, especially um this election, and he seemed to be more catering towards his base, which is fine. He doesn't seem to be offering black people anything. I feel like if he was to start offering black people anything, he can most definitely get that upper hand. But he's not. He's catering towards his base. You know, more conservative Christians. Um, White people, of course, not all white people vote for Trump. You know, you kind of have it split. You know, you have some liberal, you have some conservative, but yeah, you know, he's catering towards his base. Now, with Kamala Harris, all it seems that she's doing in her whole campaign is vote for me because if you don't vote for me, real Trump is going to get in office. Y'all don't want that. So it's basically the same thing it has been the past 2 years. Vote for me. I'm not giving you nothing. I'm not saying I'm going to give you anything. But vote for me and the boogeyman won't get in office. And my thing is, people are steadily looking in the future for this boogeyman when the boogeyman is right here. Excuse me, y'all. When the boogeyman is right here in front of your face. Boogeyman is right here. Listen, Our borders are wide open. Oh, snaps. Oh, I'm sorry about that, y'all. But yeah, our borders are wide open. Inflation is at an all-time high, and it just keeps getting higher and higher. Um, it's just like even if we're making more money, seems to not be doing anything because our dollar is not stretching like it's supposed to. What else? Train derailments, chemical spills all over the United States, polluting our water source, the food, just forms of cattle just randomly burning down. And then our borders being wide open. That's one of the biggest things, especially for the black community, right? Our borders is wide open. People are just crossing over. We can't document who is crossing over. Also, I'm going to do another video about this later, but with these borders being wide open, I'm seeing more missing people as well, right? So this may have a direct correlation to trafficking as well. You don't know who's over here. Um, and then they putting them in the black communities. And the black communities in Chicago and New York, they are not happy, right? They're not happy. A lot of them is talking about actually going down to the DNC convention in Chicago and really, showing out. So what they did, they tried to actually, they made it to where a lot of a lot of the black residents couldn't come up there to the Democratic National Convention because they know the black people in Chicago are not happy with what's going on. Think about it, right? They have 5 schools that closed down, and these 5 schools closed down because of so-called funding. But they got all this money to fund these migrants that's coming over, give them shelter, give them food cards, um, and I heard some of them is even getting cars and everything now. And listen, these same migrants would be the ones telling black people, right? And don't get me wrong, right? I understand that people are coming to try to make a better life and things like that, but it's a way that you're supposed to do it. You have to do it legally. We can't just go to other countries and just walk through their border like everything is okay. And when I say these migrants, it's more than one type, right? You have Ukrainian migrants, you have the Venezuelan migrants, um, you have some um, Chinese people crossing the border, and when they cross the border, they disappear. Nobody don't know where they're going. Ain't we supposed to be so called at war with China? So you just gonna open up the borders to let people like that freely come in? How do you know if they sleeper cells or not? You got people from Mexico. You got people from all over that's walking through the border, and we don't know who they are. So I'm calling it equally all over, right? I'm not I'm not criticizing one group's migrants. It should be a process to migration. It should be a legal process through migration, and these people need to be checked. They need to be accounted for. We need to know who they are, what's their background. before we just let people freely come over here. But yeah, they're dumping them off in the black neighborhoods. And it's not just the black neighborhoods, but it's primarily the black neighborhoods in Chicago, in New York. And these migrants are taking up all the resources, right? And black people are paying our tax dollars for them. So you're saying that we can pay our tax dollars that we work hard for people that's not even citizens, but you can't do nothing for us? Like, that's flat out disrespect. So that's why I'm asking y'all. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I know y'all not going for the okie doke. I know y'all not doing the same thing we've been doing for years. I really thought we as a people evolved for this. Like, the identity politics stuff is dead, bro. We see black faces in high places all the time, and they don't get anything done, and they don't have our best interests at heart. Listen, we seen with Obama, ain't nothing really pop off. I seen that coming up in middle school and high school. I was like, Obama ain't really do shit like that for us, man. So what's the big deal? And now we have it all over again. It's like y'all got amnesia, right? And let's not talk about the track record of Kamala Harris, right? Not even Kamala Harris, even Joe Biden as well. Joe Biden, he worked with segregationists to keep black people out of schools. He was the one who helped orchestrated the law that gave crack a way more harsher sentence than cocaine, because he knew that crack correlated more with the black community because it was cheaper. So, from what I heard, it was like for having a gram of crack, you get like 10 times the sentence or something like that. It's something crazy like that. And then not on top, and then on top of that, um, the crime bill '94 locked a lot of us up. So y'all looking for a boogeyman in the future when the boogeyman has always been there. It's been the same group who y'all so called, hey, let's vote for all the time. Y'all been voting for the boogeyman because they're actively doing things to hurt you. Signing bills that gives you a 10 times harsher sentence for having crack rather than cocaine, when they know that cracks correlate more with the black community because it's cheaper. That's already a war against you. The '94 crime bill, that's a war against you. Kamala Harris prosecuted and sent, I don't even know the number, but from what I'm hearing, she sent hundreds of black men to jail. And as a matter of fact, I want to show y'all something. I want to show y'all something. I was framed for murder. This right here is a man framed for murder. 2008, I was framed for murder and wrongfully convicted by the office of Kamala Harris, sentenced 50 to life in prison. It took me 5.5 years to ultimately get back in the trial due to prosecutorial misconduct, and it took me another year to go to my second trial, to which I was vindicated by a jury of my peers. When I got convicted, Kamala Harris Harris was in the courtroom when I got sentenced 50 to life in prison. Kamala Harris was in the courtroom. When I looked back and I seen her, she was smiling. And she did that stupid ass laugh that she do right now. This shit ain't funny. In 2000. So y'all see that, man. And I still seen people saying, hey, I'ma still vote for her. And I'ma say this, go ahead and vote for all you want to. It's gonna be to your own demise. Y'all gonna see the hard way, trust me. Y'all gonna see the hard way. Because everything that you're claiming Trump is doing, as far as like with the dictatorship, and which, I mean, I could see that as well. Him being a dictatorship. I heard him say something like, oh yeah, if you vote me in, you don't have to worry about voting me in again for the next 4 years. But in all honesty, I feel like Trump is a puppet and he's just playing a part of the puzzle. I feel like what's meant to happen is going to happen regardless, right? And I even said it, right? I call it down the middle. I call it on both sides. I felt like, to me personally, that whole shoe looks staged as fuck, man. Oh, you just somehow coincidentally duck down and just get your ear tapped. Then you get up talking about some fight. That's some shit off a gothic movie, man. And then if you look at the crowd in the back, it just all looks set up. The way they was moving, certain gestures they was making, certain things they was doing. It's just like, it just looked weird to me. So I call it down the middle. So you can't come on here and say, oh, you're just a conservative, you're just a Trumpster. Because I call it how it is. I call it how I see it. And neither one of them is doing anything for us. So that's why I say, hey, I'm holding my vote. And I've done that for ever since I could vote in the presidential election. I mainly only voted local elections. Because what's the point of voting if you're not getting anything for your vote? That's horrible business. All they have to do is talk about, listen, this how the cycle goes, right? Every 4 years, right? They run out this big campaign, the campaign of black voters, right? They'll probably hop on the Breakfast Club like Hillary Clinton did. Talk about some hot sauce. She keeps her hot sauce in her purse and some chicken and stuff. And then they'll probably do a dance. Right, like Hillary did with Roland Martin. They'll probably dance with some of the so-called black figureheads of the community or whatever. They'll do that. And they'll make their rounds to like the black churches and stuff, take pictures and all that. They'll grab some rappers and entertainers. They'll do this every 4 years for the black vote, right? Then after election, ghost. Don't hear from him at all. Don't hear not one word from him. That's exactly what Kamala Harris did. I mean, she disappeared worse than anybody. At least like in the past, I kind of seen some of the VPs, they'll pop up and make their appearance every once in a while. Kamala Harris, gone. She went ghost on y'all, man. She said Chucks and Pearls. Oh yeah, got the Chucks and Pearls. After that, deuces. See, y'all fall for the okie doke every time. They do the same thing. Someone gets somehow unalive. And I'm not saying that the Sonya Massey thing was fake or anything like that. But is it a coincidence that this happened somehow almost every election year. Like I said, I'm not saying that's fake or anything like that. I most definitely want her to get justice. Just like I want Sandra Bland to get justice and all the Mike Brown and so on and so on. Listen, I done seen it all since I graduated high school in 2014, and this son I paid attention to thoroughly. So I done seen it all. And it's just like, damn, bro. Like it's like I'm in an endless time loop of elections because the same thing keep happening over and over, especially the last three elections because Donald Trump won. And all they gotta do is do this mass campaign where they doing all this pandering and then be like, ooh, you don't want Donald Trump to win. Boo. He's a scary boogeyman. Boo. And then y'all vote him into office. And then they annoy y'all. It's just on repeat. It's like I said, it's like an endless time loop, and it's just annoying. And it's just seeing people fall for the same thing over and over, and they do the same thing and think they're going to expect any type of change. It's insanity. Expecting change when you're doing the same thing over and over again is insanity. And that's what y'all keep doing. The same thing over and over again. Like, oh, well, I'm voting for her because she's a woman, she's black. No, that's over with. We've been through that with Obama. Like, and I believe y'all do it. I mean, I have a strong possibility that she most definitely might win. I can most definitely see it. But listen, all I can say is, y'all, listen. If neither one of these parties are offering anything, even for not even just for black people, even for the American people as well, don't vote, don't participate, right? There is no lesser two evils. They are both evil. And even before I said if there was a lesser two evil, Trump will be the lesser two evil because at least he's going to get these migrants out. At least he's going to close the borders. I mean, that's going to help the black community out a little bit. At least we ain't got to pay our tax dollars to help feed these other people. And then on top of that, they're replacing us. But at the same time, neither one of them has a agenda for us. They're not doing anything for us. I know a lot of y'all might get mad at me for calling it how it is. Hey, I understand. I understand. But Kamala is not the way to go. She has a horrible track record. Biden has a horrible track record. They're not going to do anything for us. They're not making any promises to us. All they can say is, hey, look at that boogeyman Trump. You better vote for us. And it's like, no. No, I just can't do it. Like, no. I didn't fall for the okey doke 8 years ago, and I'm not falling for it this year. Yeah, you're not gonna scare me into voting. If you're not bringing anything, you might as well forget it. Cause you think about it, right? Why do they want the black vote so much? They spend millions of dollars to campaign for our vote. Nobody else. They do this to no other group. They just do this to us, right? Because they want to see if we want to participate. They want to see if we're going to buy into it. And as long as we keep on buying into it, nothing is going to change. Because I'm like, oh yeah, we got them in the bag, bro. They whatever. All we gotta do is talk about some hot sauce and chicken and greens with them. Talk about twerking and stuff like that. These are some buffoons. There are some clowns. Disrespect us straight to our face, man. And y'all just cool with it just because they Democrat. Listen, if it was a Republican doing the same thing, y'all would have been called that out. Hypocrisy. Hypocrisy, hypocrisy. That's the thing. Both sides, they have a lot of hypocrisy in them. That's why I can't get with it. The Democrat, the Democratic Party be like, oh yeah, somebody should choose to do what they want to with their body, but as soon as them, but they forcing people to get the mandatory jab though. They're like, oh, but you got to get the mandatory jab if you want to continue to keep your job, if you want to work here, if you want to go to this bar. And the same thing with the right wing, the Republican Party, right? They're like, oh, we got to bear arms to fight against tyranny, to fight against the powers that be, and so on and so on. And then as soon as a police officer unalive or unarmed black citizen, and then we uprise, then it's all those a bunch of hoodlums. You should have complied. They're a bunch of thugs. Woo 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 woo. Both sides are hypocritical. I'm telling y'all. They only want to work for they so-called agenda. Agenda. They don't call it how it is right now in the middle. The Democratic Party be like, oh, we gotta fight against tyranny because Trump is bringing tyranny and so on and so on. But they'll be the same people to tax the miles that you drive. Oh, saying you can't go outside during a certain amount of time because hey, for greenhouse emissions or whatever for the global warming, you got to help keep it safe. So we're gonna need you to follow that curfew and stay in the house. They claim they for the poor people the most. Yeah, we're for the poor people, but New York and California got some of the most strenuous anti-homelessness laws. Yeah, Gavin Newsom just signed a deal too. They got anti-homeless section in architecture in New York. So they don't care about poor people. You talk about some them? No, the Democrats don't care about poor people either. Yeah, we need the right to bear arms. That's what the Republican Party say. And then soon as somebody lawfully having a firearm like a Philando Castile and he get wrongfully unalive, I ain't got nothing to say about that. Hypocrites. They both hypocrites, boy. Hypocrites. Oh, you living off the government. Y'all gotta stop being so lazy living off the government. The same Clive and Bundy. What's their name is? Oh, I forgot what their name is. But it was a whole bunch of farmers that had like a little uprising with the authorities because they said they was trying to take their land. But these same farmers, they get grants every year. They get government subsidies to farm. So what is you talking about? Both sides are hypocritical, and it's all evil. At the end of the day, I feel like they all have the same goal, which is some form of dictatorship or one world government. And I feel like, they using this Kamala and this Donald Trump as a good cop, bad cop, but they all have the same mission at the end of the day. And I just can't believe y'all falling for the okey doke again, man. Like, I thought y'all seen this enough time to where y'all could wake up and like, all right, bro, man, y'all did this over and over again. We ain't finna fall for this time. What are you giving us for our vote? I thought y'all was finna move like that, but I guess I'm wrong. I thought we evolved, but I guess we didn't. Like I said, I'm holding out this election. If you do vote for Kamala, you do vote for Donald Trump, no hard feelings. I just had to put this warning out there because if you do vote for Kamala and she does happen to get into office, or if either one of these people get into office, right, and they're not offering anything to you, you're voting for your own demise. You voting for your downfall. And yeah, that's all I gotta say, man. I won't be participating. Both sides are evil. Both sides have no agenda for us. And yeah, I'm holding my vote. I vote local. And that's how a vote should be. That's good business. It shouldn't be off of fear. It shouldn't be off of emotion. It should be off of what candidate is going to do the most for me. It shouldn't be off of identity politics. Because like I said, there are too many black faces in high places for us to keep doing the same thing. We done seen this all over again. But hey, I'm pretty sure y'all still gonna do what y'all gonna do. And all I can say is once she get in that office, hey, I don't want to hear no complaining for the next 4 years. And you gotta suck that up and have a nice 4 years. But y'all stay blessed. I'm gonna continue to post some more content, some more videos coming up soon. I'm gonna stay more consistent. Listen, life, and I've been busy. Um, I've been on the grind, but yeah, I'm gonna try to hop on here more. But I just wanted to put out some type of video, giving my thoughts on this up and coming election, because I know I haven't made an actual legit video, and I've been trying to upload videos to TikTok, but every time I say something about Kamala Harris or say anything, they try to censor me and they take my video down and flag my video. So that's been a hassle in itself. But yeah, I hope y'all take heed to this message. Think, do your research, and really look at her background. And really look at what's been going on the past 4 years and ask yourself, do I really want to do this? And if you still go through with it, hey, do what you do. That's your decision. But I'm just going to say, if you vote and don't expect anything for your vote, don't expect the next 4 years to be any better than what we're living now. So that's all I had to say. Y'all have a blessed one. Peace.